Alright, so now we're continuing on with G1, right after Shared Wizard Note. We got the quest to come back to Crystal and receive the Book of Revenge Volume 2. So Crystal's right here, so we're going to talk to her. And you must be here for the translated copy of the book. Here, I think you should read it yourself. It's better than having me summarize it for you. That said, I can't believe what's written in this book. Do you need anything else? Nope, we are good. Alright, so I decided that since books are kind of cool, I'm going to read them off camera and then summarize them. So, like Crystal said, it's probably better if you read them for yourself, but at least to get some of the more lore-ish aspects of the game, I'm still going to read them and then summarize them. So, I'll do that real quick. Alright, so basically what the book is Moores, who we now know is the author of the book, is say basically two main things that while nature is still kind of on the side of the humans because nature is cool and tries to fix everything, sooner or later nature is going to betray the humans also. Oh, and we have to go to Duncan, that's why I'm going to the Moon Gate. That's the next part of the quest. But yeah, nature will betray the humans and bring its wrath upon them, and also the goddess Morrigan also has turned their back on the humans. So Moores is trying to persuade the Foamers that the humans, all the things that protect the humans are not going to protect them anymore, so the Foamers can definitely win. And there's also a passage in there about him saying that even though he's a human, the Foamers should still be cool with him because he's following the path of what the gods want him to do or whatever. So he's saying that even though he's a human, he realizes the treachery of the humans and wants to destroy them just as much as the Foamers do. That's basically what that's doing, and now we're talking to Duncan. Let's see his good job. Not only found the book, even got translated. Here, let me see it. Duncan starts reading the book. So it's true. So that's why the Foamer Scrolls was made. Wait. What? The Foamers recognize that humans and nature will become separated. Okay, so basically, you know if you fight monsters, and sometimes occasionally find Foamer Scrolls of those monsters, those Foamer Scrolls are used to control the monsters, basically. And you'll find them a lot from like foxes and bears, like nature-y things. You also find them from goblins, but goblins are Foamers. I don't really know how that works. But anyway, recognize that humans and nature are becoming separated, and this is the point I think you'll have to find the last volume of the book. If what I think is true, then their plans will be in that book. Ever since the Mag-Tareed War, Foamers have been preparing for another war. We don't know anything for sure yet, but if we don't find their plans to prevent Aaron might be destroyed. We have to find the third volume, please. Find this last, and don't forget, you must not tell anyone about the things regarding the goddess. Alright, not tell anyone. Not like we could, because I don't think they give us a keyword to tell anyone. So, the quest, we now have to talk to Area. See if Area knows where the third volume is. Alright, so, the moon gates are almost up, so we're almost down, but we're gonna go at least talk to Area before this is all over. But anyway, these Foamer Scrolls I have are what the Foamers use to kind of turn nature against the humans. That's why, that's one reason the animals will aggro you and attack you, because they're being controlled by Foamers to do so. At least I believe that's how the lore goes. If anyone has any corrections on that, it would totally work, but that is what I've experienced in my Mabinogi, and it makes sense to most extent. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to Area. Is that even how you say her name? I guess you say Aira. I guess you could say that. We're gonna say Area, even though the I is on the wrong side of the R. So I guess it'd be Aira. Even might try to say it that way. I don't know. Anyway, so we're talking to the book lady, and some lags. Now we're all the way back here. That's fun. Fun times. Get some more extra from my horse, I guess. Anyway, you can usually tell if it's lagging when you're riding on a horse if you get there and the NPCs don't spawn in like they're supposed to, or don't appear, whatever. Because that means that it's lagging. Oh hey, we reached level 20. Sweet. Since you're looking for Volume 3, I guess you already found 2. If you haven't heard anything about Volume 3 just yet, it's turning out to be a lot harder to find the lost volume. My distributor has been absolutely useless, and Evan says she hasn't come across such a book. Even Leslie says she doesn't know anything. Same with Stuart. I've asked everywhere, but I don't know how long it will take. I'm afraid you're going to have to be patient. But even if you're patient, I just don't have any confidence I'll be able to find it. Anything else? Nope. Oh, completed that quest, got some ability points for experience, and level 20 sweetness. So now we don't have a quest. Oh, no, yeah, that's alchemist quest, doesn't count. Alright, so I guess I'm going to stop recording until we get to the next quest, and we'll continue on from there. Alright, so after a couple minutes, you'll get the find the Book of Revenge Volume 3 quest, and talk to Ari in the bookstore. Aira, whatever. I found where you can find Volume 3 in the Fomer book you're looking for. Lassar, the Magic Treasure School Tarlach has it. You know her, don't you? She came looking for a particular book recently, and while we were chatting, I snuck in a question about your own search. She says she has a third copy of the Book of Revenge, the original copy in the Fomer language, no less. You should hurry up and see her. Good luck. Anything else? Nope. Alright, let's hurry up and see Lassar in Tarlach School. So we've talked to Lassar before, I believe during the Magic Rose quest, or the Black, whatever it is. But at any rate, she's the magic school teacher of Tarlach, and I guess like this time, you can actually take classes from the school in Tarlach for melee and magic, and actually for humans, if you take the third class in melee, you'll get 5 strength that no other race can get. So that's a good little strength boost for warriors, and I guess lancers also use strength if you count them as separate classes, which I think is kind of silly. But at any rate, so you can do those classes. They do cost money, so do be wary of that. But if you're trying to learn the combat better for either mage or warrior, those are good classes to take, because it'll kind of also give you a goal. You can basically take a class any day at like I think it starts at 7 a.m. in game. So and you can only take one class per day. So you have to do over 3 Mabinogi days, because there's 3 classes. But when I was a new player, I found those very useful to kind of get a whole handle on the game. So that was good stuff. But also you can get ints from the Lassar magic class if you're a mage. That's also ints that only humans can get. But yeah, so if you want to, you can take those classes. I think, but Lassar's inside the school building, Ronald's outside the school building, and you should probably know that because you've been to school a couple times now, I believe. And if you hang around Tarlach at all, you should get to knowing it by now. Tarlach is a pretty nice place for a newbie starting town, which is really sad that it is just a newbie starting town, but they made the beginner quest so short that people don't hang out around there very much anymore. So you used to be there from time to time, at least in the Rari server, but and then occasionally if you just hang out there, you'll see a new player come through every now and then. But yeah, it used to actually be like the main city, or the main town rather. There used to be personal shops and people just like everywhere, and now it's relatively empty, and the main city has moved to Dunbarton. But yeah, Tarlach is a pretty cool place. You can do lots of good. It has Seer and Albi, which are good beginner dungeons, and it has like church part-time jobs and general store part-time jobs, and you can hang out here for a long time as a noob or a new player and get fairly well along. So you're looking for the book. Had asked me about the book before. Did she tell you what I told her? Yes, the book isn't actually mine. It belongs to Sumas, who works on the ruins excavation site of the garage. He said he found it not too long ago in an excavation site. He could not read the writing and asked around and came to me to interpret it. But it was too difficult for me as well. Forget translate. Can't even read a sentence of it. I was barely able to decipher out the title. When I told Sumas, he said it was okay and he asked me to return his book. So as a matter of fact, I gave the book back to him. I don't know if you'll be able to read it because it's such a difficult book to read, but if you want to take a look at it, stop by the ruins excavation site in Garrett. I'm sure Sumas will be happy to find out if there is indeed a way the book can be translated. Well, just look at that. We happen to know a very good Fomer language translator. Isn't that nice? Alright, so now I have to go. Oop, that's my eagle, not a horse. Silly eagle, you don't run fast as a horse. Any rate. Yeah, we're going down to the Dragon Ruins in Garrosh. Now, the moon gates are really nice for this, but we don't have the moon gates up right now. I don't feel like sitting around for almost half an hour to, well, only half an hour, but half an hour is 18 minutes. And so somewhere around there. for the moon gates to get back up. So we are going to ride it on my horse, because that will ultimately take shorter. And back in the day, also, the interesting thing is that the moon gates actually went on a cycle. So each night the moon gate would go somewhere different, usually. And then so to even use the moon gates, it had to be going to the place you wanted to, just because it was. It had a cycle, and you could map out the cycle so you could log on and get to where you wanted to go at the right time if you wanted to. But back when these G's first came out, there was actually, when these G's first came out, there wasn't even horses. So you had to run everywhere on foot, which took pretty long, but it also kind of gave it a sense of epicness. Now, and then after that, they came out with horses during like G, one of the area G's, I think, like G4 through 6, somewhere around there. And yeah. I don't really know. I'm not really good on my early Mabinogi history because while I played right before G3, I only played for a week and then quit like for a year and came back when rebirths were free. So I'm not even like right after rebirths were free. I came back in like G7 because I remember G8. G8 was awesome looking. When G8 first came out, I was like, man, this is sweet. This is totally, I mean, there's dragons and like volcanoes, and then there's also like Final Shot and Mana Shield, and I was like, man, this is like one of the best generations ever. And then after that there's G9, it was like, alchemy, what? So yeah, Mabinogi's pretty awesome, because it just comes out with like all kinds of different stuff. So we're going to Garage on our horse, which some people didn't have back when they first did this generation. Also, Generation 1's been changed like 2 or 3 times since it first came out. So it's actually like the easiest it's ever been to do. So it used to be a really big grand old adventure, but now it's a bit shorter and you don't have to do as much. But still, Mabinogi's good on story, and though the shortening kind of, wait, is that an Ancient Wolf? That is an Ancient Wolf. Oh, no, I'm not gonna mess with it. I've learned my things on Ancient with this character. Ancients are a good challenge, and while I probably could beat it, it would take far too long. I don't want to spend that amount of time right now. But Ancients are a good challenge, especially for new players, because they don't have any special skills. They just have lots of health and do more damage. So it's just like an upgrade to whatever monster it is, or mobster. So for newer players, they can be really good challenges, and they can drop some fairly nice stuff. So they can be well worth the fight. But anyway, this is Garage. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too, but I'm just gonna call it Garage, and it'll be good. There's a wisp and small wolves and foxes. Down here's the dragon ruins in like a village that's like practically empty, because the only NPC here is Sumis, who's in the dragon ruins with that really cool dragon head thing there. And in these houses, there's nobody except for Price. I think occasionally hangs out in that house, because Price is a traveling merchant, so he'll just randomly pop up places. And then over that way be Sen Mag, which is a destroyed housing district, and we'll actually learn about that later in this quest chain, I believe. And down here's Bangor, which I think we're gonna go to soon. So if we haven't been there yet, no, yeah, we were in Bari and stuff. So yeah, we've been this way before. Alright, here's Sumis. He's a miner. He sits here and mines all day. He's always excavating, I guess, and he's been excavating this here ever since the beginning of G1. So I think he's just slow or something. Well, to be fair, he's one guy excavating all of this stuff. So I don't know. He gasped for breath as he speaks. Ah, I suppose you're the one Lassar mentioned. You need the Book of the Foamers. Not too long ago, I asked Lassar to translate it, but she couldn't do it. I probably won't be able to figure it out myself anyway. Here is the book. Hope it would be helpful. Gasp, wait, let me catch my breath. Yeah, he's a hard worker, though. For some reason, he's been stuck on this particularly troubling spot for a very long time. But if it's been this long, he's done that spot, and he's been able to do all this spot, then he's probably like 10 billion years old or something. Anyway, that's just me being silly. Let's, so, whoa, okay, lag's cool. Oh, we're finding her, but that's the wrong quest. That's the knuckle quest. Alright, now I have to talk to Crystal again. So, at least Crystal is only back here in Dunbarton, which is just the next map up, so that's good. And we're gonna go talk to Crystal, and yeah, we're gonna do that. So, I have a couple of things planned in my inventory. I already sold my crossbow bolts I got from the last dungeon I did. I need to sell these building stones. Like I said in the Seer run, are 200 or 100 apiece, so fairly good money for newer players. And I have all those, like these are expired, so I can drop those. Can I drop those already? Yep, there they go. It's kind of like, there was a complaint a while ago that everybody started dropping stuff on the ground, and it made the game look all cluttered. But that's like out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm pretty sure expired heart stickers disappear pretty fast, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, generally it's better to NPC stuff anyway, because even stuff's like worth like 10 gold or even 1 or 5 gold, you're still getting gold. So, and it's quicker to like sell everything, so like right click, drop. I guess you can drag it onto the ground, that will be just about as much time as dragging it to the shop. But if you're dragging it to the ground, your character will have to walk to that spot, unless you drag it right on your character's feet. And that'll still be a little more time than just selling it. I guess you have to click confirmation menu to sell it too. So anyway, but getting gold is good. Not getting gold is bad. No, just kidding. But yeah, heart stickers don't sell for anything, so that wasn't even gonna bother with those. These mana herbs would be good to make potions with. As a potion maker, you can make mana potions with those. I believe the smallest potion you can actually make is a 50, and then you can make 100 by adding a base potion to the mix, and you can make 300 if you have a 4-leaf clover, which are kind of fairly difficult to get to some extent. I mean, they're just not easy to get in mats. They're not too hard to get. They're just hard to get in large amounts. So I don't know. Anyone makes MP 300s or HP 300s, whatever they are, 300s. Alright, hello, Crystal. Yes, we have another book for you. Did you bring me the Book of the Foamers? Volume 3 is indeed the last in the series. I knew you could get the job done. I'll let you know when the translation is complete. Do you need anything else? Nope. Alright, so that quest completed. So now we're waiting for the next quest. And I'm going to bug Crystal while she's translating the book. So technically she's translating it right now, but whatever. So I'm going to sell that for 200. How much do these sell for? 10. So that's 10 more gold than I had before. Definitely save the holy water. That coupon I'm going to have to keep around. I have 9 goblin things, so I could complete that. That'd be pretty awesome. I have lots of bandages and stuff. Organize my potions here. I have these. Oop, that's not a potion. I have this beginner for potions. I have this regular potions. I have 50 potions. And let's look at my hotkeys. Let's see. I have the beginner ones right there. I have 60. No, that's a 5. Weird font. I have 32 though. Okay, so I have my potions. That should be good. MP for beginners. Wait, MP3 for beginners? They have those? That's cool. Probably if you're a mage. Alright, so I'm just gonna throw this in there in case I get. I only have 81 health, so 50 almost heals me up full. So I mean, I'm gonna quit recording until the next quest comes. And we have the book. So I just walked over the wall to hang out on the wall. The wall of the city of Dunbarton. Look out over the fields. See if any enemies are coming. I don't think Dunbarton's been besieged in modern game times. Anyway. Well, technically by a snakes event currently going on, but that doesn't technically count. Anyway, here is translated copy. I'm waiting for you. We have finished translating 3 volumes of Book of Revenge. Yeah! I must warn you, the last volume contains some disturbing passages. You need anything else? Nope. Alright, so I'm going to read this book and find out what these disturbing passages she speaks of are, and then I'll summarize it for you. Alright. Wow, that was pretty intense. So, basically what Morse is saying, again, that nature and the gods have forsaken the humans, and so it's the Foamers' time to strike. And the Foamers did lose the last 2 wars that the humans fought. Oh, and now I think go Duncan, I think. Yep, go Duncan. Alright, when we read the book, we also got the keyword glass cahalbaline, or I'm just calling him Glass from now on, because, like, hold on, just real quick. Doop, doop. Do-do, do-do, do-do. Just right here. Gehabeline. Gehabeline. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce Celtic things, so yeah, I'm just calling him Glass, because Glass is cool. No, actually, Glass is not cool. That's actually what the book's about. So, The Foamers lost the 2 wars against the humans. However, they did have one major victory in Sen Mag, which I was talking about earlier, where Glass basically wiped it off the face of the earth. And Glass is like this big thing, giant monster thing that's not good and destroys houses and sets them on fire and stuff. Yeah, it's no good, and more is saying the Foamers can try to revive him, and now that they have the blessing of the gods or whatever, they can. So yeah, destructive glass, that word. What did you say? Glass Gahabeline? This can't be. Where did you hear that name? Does a 3rd book of the Foamers cover that? I'd like to read it if you have it on you. Please let me see it. Duncan receives the book and carefully starts reading. This can't be. Things are a lot more serious than I thought. This is a problem. What should we do? I don't know, Duncan. That's why I came to you. Glass Gahabeline is a legendary giant that destroyed everything within its sight with hatred and anger. It's impossible to describe the fear the monster generates. Look at that thing. Like, giant arms, got a wing, got like 4 arms, and just a massive face, and everything's on fire. Not good. Not good at all. Once Glass Gahabeline was commanded by an evil god to rampage all across Erin. There is simply nothing we can do about it. There was simply? Or, I don't know. That's when our ancestor race, the Partholons, were decimated and sought refuge in the small mountainous area. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit dazed and hard to talk. It'd be more helpful if you read the book written by our ancestors who fought against the monster. Let's see. Question mark? It's not here. I don't give up now. I just forgot. I lent it to someone. He lives in Bangor. What was his name? That's right, Bryce. It's the person who borrowed it from me. Tell Bryce about the book and read it, and that much more I can tell you as written in the book. If you have anything else, let me know. Alright, we're gonna go find out about Glass Gahabeline's horrible monster that's horrible and monstery and stuff. And the moon gets still up, so we'll be pretty quick to Bangor. Yeah. So basically, we're in deep trouble, is what Duncan's trying to say. Glass is super bad, and we don't want to mess with him. So we're going to try to figure out more about him, so hopefully we can understand the gravity of the situation here. And then we're going to get another book. So, yeah, we'll find out about that. And here's Bangor. And, yep, there's the dragon statue we're at, so just down here's Bangor. Yeah, Bangor. Like I said, we've been here before, so shouldn't be too hard to figure out. You can always pop up the world map by going to the map, and then clicking this button, and like, bam, you know, see Turkano, Dunburn, Garrett Hills. There's not really that much of a curve, I don't know what they're talking about. Unless I'm out from a different perspective. Okay. Bangor's a pretty small mining town, but we've been here before, like I said. I've said that like several times now, it's kind of silly. Dr. Bryce is the banker, so he's just right over here. Hello, Bryce. And mailbox, Bryce is right next to the mailbox. He's the banker. Welcome to Bangor, Glass Gahabeline's Bones keyword. Sweet. Welcome to the Bangor branch of Erskine Bank. So, you must be the one that spoke to Duncan and Turkano. It was roughly brought up to speed by the owl that sent it to me. I've always had an interest in old stories, so what happened to meet the chief, I was able to read this book. I am done with this book now, so you can take it if you want to. By the way, I found something very interesting in this book. Resurrecting the monster requires a special mineral called adamantium. Adamantium is a mystical metal that is resistant to magical powers. It is a type of metal that is only found in the mines of Bangor. The problem is, adamantium is no longer being produced in the mines of Bangor. Apparently, it has been like that for a long time. When this happens, it's either one of these things. Either the region has run out of adamantium belts, or someone else is mining them all. Dun dun dun! Is there anything else? Just let me know. Alright, so we got ability points and got the quest, and we should have got the book. I think. We also have a quest. Talk to Tarlach. Oh, he's got to talk to Tarlach. So I'm going to read this book, and hopefully we'll get Tarlach soon. And so I read the book, and it took me a lot longer than I thought. So, we're going to have to wait till the moon gate pops back up to go talk to Tarlach, because you're going to talk to Tarlach at night anyway. So, I'm going to start recording and wait till then. But at any rate, the book was interesting. It basically said what they know about Glass Gahabeline. Basically, the bones have to be gathered for Glass to summon him. And if there's any bones missing, the summon won't work. But you can create artificial bones for a Glass Gahabeline by mining adamantium. And that is because adamantium is the strongest metal in all of Erin. and it also has a special ability of nullifying all magic. A sword of adamantium can cut through any spells, and a shield of adamantium can block any spells. And even if you mix adamantium with steel, these properties can still be shown, is what the book was saying. But at any rate, glass Cahalbalines are summoned into the world, and so they're not of Erin or Tir Na Nog as far as the book is concerned. And so they're basically just monsters that are summoned and they destroy things. And the thing about it is that they don't want the monster to go against the summoner, so what they do is they summon the monster without its soul. Now, the book person called it the added soul phenomenon, and basically says that the soul will still come to the world as the summon, but it won't inhabit the body of the summon. Instead, it will it'll find some other body, which may manifest as a wisp, or it may go into a bird or some other four-legged animal, or even go into a human of some sort. So, and this soul will subconsciously hang around the summoned creature. It won't even realize necessarily that it is the soul for the summoned creature, but it will just subconsciously hang around it because it wants to be next to its body or whatever. So that's interesting. And as a side note, the author also said that this has been used, the added soul phenomenon also applies to like couples and marriage relationships, as well as is a way to explain the soul stream, which I found interesting. And if you didn't know, your character is actually somewhat like this. It's a Militian, or a Miltian, or however it's pronounced. So many weird pronunciations in this game. But basically, the lore of Mabinogi is that the player comes in and is basically like the summoned soul, and I don't really know where the body comes from, but that's how you get through the soul stream. So that's kind of the whole thing of Mabinogi. So that's kind of a cool little lore tidbit. And the added soul phenomenon is used to explain the soul stream, which, yeah, is important in lore, because the Miltian does all kind of things in here. And at any rate, so that was kind of the book. And then at the end, it says that the author wrote that book so people would know about glass Cahalbaline. And oh yeah, a thing I forgot to mention is that glass needs gold to eat. They eat gold. So one sign to see if someone's trying to summon a glass Cahalbaline and see if they're mining adamantium, which Bryce believes they are, and if there's lots of monsters carrying around gold. So that could be why goblins drop gold and other foamers. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. So as soon as my gates come back up, I'll keep on recording. I'm going to talk to Tarlach, and I'll probably end this episode. It's probably pretty long by now. But at any rate, that's kind of the basic summary of the book. It's a fairly long book, started out. It's 14 pages, which was actually front and back. So, yeah, fairly good chunk of reading for a Mabinogi book. At any rate, I'll be back when I can talk to Tarlach, and then you'll see me there. Alright, so use the moon gate, and I'm going to go and check Tarlach. There's the next quest, and after this quest, I think I'll end this episode. Probably a longer episode. The last episode was an hour, so to be fair, there's that. Right, I don't know if longer episodes or shorter episodes are more preferable. So if you have a comment on that, you can totally throw that in the comments box of the YouTube channel. That's a horse by itself. Yeah, if you didn't know, you can log into your pets and play as your pet. They can't talk to NPCs or anything, but you can still level them up that way and stuff. So they do have the old combat system, which means all their skills have load times instead of cooldowns. So that's an interesting aspect. So you can kind of see what the old combat was like. And yeah, you can log into like basically all your pets, and that can be fun to do sometimes. Yeah. So here are in Seed Snatcha, or whatever. Sivhi Sneechta. Sneechta. It's interesting. Lots of syllables in this game everywhere. Sneechta. And Tarlach. Sneechta and Tarlach. Tarlach is in Sneechta. Sidhi Sneechta. I should have said Sneatch, which is close-ish, but it doesn't have that so I'm just saying Schneetsta. Druid's Altar. Where Tarlach is not, so that means we're lagging. So I'm gonna guess we're gonna be like back there, like right top of the screen. Oh wait, no, Tarlach is here! Yay! Cool beans. Exclamation point! That's it! In order to revive Glass Cavalier, his bones must be extracted and reassembled. Any missing bones must be replaced with adamantium. But adamantium is difficult to shape. It must be melted at a very high temperature first, and there's special ingredients that must be applied to the bone. It wouldn't be enough to simply destroy the bones before it's completed. Once the adamantium hardens, you can't destroy it. I have no doubt the foamers have already gathered all the bone and repaired the magical regions, too. It's only a matter of time before the foamers invade Erin. How do I know all this? I learned of the land of the foamers, Tirnanov. Tirnanov is a reflection of Erin. Or perhaps it's the other way around. At any rate, the worlds are quite similar. Perhaps it could be better if you see it firsthand. Can you do me a favor? These glasses carry the memories of my time there. You can stay for certain. I can't say for certain if the memories are intact, but if you wish to see what I saw through these glasses, you'll need them. Please find me some magic powder of preservation. The powder can prevent the glasses from breaking further. It'll also sustain the memories contained within. If you get me the powder, I'll preserve the glasses. It can make magic powder of preservation deep inside the Fiat dungeon. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, thank you, Tarlach. Alright, so now we have a Wing the Goddess to Fiat, and it looks like we just have the quest to go to Fiat. But this quest will be going long enough, so I'm going to cut it here, at least for this episode. And so now we'll be off to Fiat to run Fiat and get the magic powder of preservation to preserve the Gothlas and see memories to Tarlach's eyes. So thank you for watching, and have fun playing Mabinogi.